Before start this video, please subscribe my channel and click on bell icon. Thanks.
Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 is one of the most famous missing aircraft cases in recent history. However, other planes mysteriously had gone missing long before this infamous flight went awry. Here are 10 lesser-known plane wrecks throughout history that are still missing. Related, top 10 terrifying facts about airplanes. 10. The Campbell airship. One of the oldest plane crashes dates back to the early days of flight, long before real planes had been invented. This particular aircraft, called the Campbell airship, was actually a dirigible and was built by a man named Peter Campbell in the 1880s. Unfortunately, as with many early flight attempts, this particular aircraft wasn't a success. On July 16, 1889, a professor named Edward D. Hogan piloted the airship in a demonstration flight departing from New York City. But that was the last that was ever seen of it. After leaving New York, the airship was last seen heading over the North Atlantic. Although the wreckage has never been found, it's believed to have crashed near Atlantic City in New Jersey around 5:30 p.m. due to mechanical failure. With an airship that large, you'd think it would be easy to find. However, the pilot and the remains of the aircraft disappeared, never to be seen again. Cecil Grace's airplane. Mysterious final flight disappearance of Cecil Stanley Grace. Just 7 years after the Wright brothers successfully built an airplane and flew it in 1903, a man named Cecil Grace, who was an early aviator, decided to enter the Baron de Forest competition. This competition promised to give £2,000 to whoever could make the longest flight from England to the rest of continental Europe. Several aviators had already tried and failed to win the prize, but Cecil Grace decided to throw his hat into the ring. He took off from England on December 22, 1910, but quickly realized that the strong wind was going to be a problem. Not wanting to get into hot water, Cecil Grace landed his flight on the coast of France, had lunch, and got ready to head back to England. However, after checking that he'd departed for the 40-minute journey back to England, no one heard a word from him. At first, there were hopeful reports that the pilot had landed somewhere, but on March 14, 1911, his cap and goggles washed up near Ostend, Belgium. Little is known about what happened to the pilot, although his body was reportedly found later. As for the plane itself, we may never know where that resides. 8. Albert Jewell's airplane. Albert Jewell was born in 1886 in the United States and was an aviator in the early 1900s. Jewell got a pilot's license from the Aero Club of America in 1913. This was just 6 months before he would make his last fated flight. In 1913, the New York Times organized an event called the American Aerial Derby, which was an airplane race made to commemorate the 10th anniversary of Orville Wright's first flight. The race would cover a 60-mile, 96-kilometer loop that started and ended in Stanton Island. As a young aviator, the idea of this competition greatly appealed to Albert, and he signed up to make the flight. He entered the competition, flying a Moisant-Blériot monoplane, and took off from Stanton Island with high hopes. However, it seems that his plane was blown out to sea during the flight. The last person to see him was a fishing vessel captain, who spotted him flying somewhere off the southern part of Long Island. This was the last anyone saw of the poor pilot, and neither Albert nor his plane wreckage was ever recovered. 7. Amelia Earhart's Lockheed Electra 10E. The mysterious disappearance of Amelia Earhart. A Tale of Two Sisters. Absolute history. In 1937, Amelia Earhart and her navigator, Fred Noonan, set off from Oakland, California, in a Lockheed Electra 10E. They had a goal to fly around the world on a groundbreaking trip. The first part of the flight went well, with the pair landing in New Guinea less than a month later. They'd already flown 22,000 miles and only needed to fly another 7,000 in order to make it back home to Oakland. Unfortunately, making it home didn't seem to be on the table for Earhart and her co-pilot. The two took off from La and headed for a small island in the Pacific Ocean, where they planned to refuel before heading back to the U.S. However, they never made it. The pair went missing somewhere over the Pacific Ocean and, after an extensive air and sea search, were finally declared dead on January 5, 1939. Although no one knows what happened to these young aviators, the standing theory is that they ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean. Other theories have emerged, including one saying the plane crashed near Nikumaroro Island and Earhart was stranded on the island. In 2022, researchers hope to confirm a metal piece of wreckage found in 1991 was, in fact, part of her plane through advanced imaging technology. Regardless of what happened, however, her plane wreck has never been definitively found, and the disappearance remains a mystery today. 4. Flight 19 History's Greatest Mysteries. Flight 19 vanishes in the Bermuda Triangle. Season 2, History. Flight 19 was a group of torpedo bombers who set out on a United States Navy training flight on December 5, 1945. There were 14 aviators in total who participated in the flight, and for some reason, all of the crew members lost contact with their base while flying over the Bermuda Triangle. After realizing their airmen had gone missing, the U.S. Navy launched a rescue mission, sending out a Mariner flying boat to look for them. This, too, however, went missing and was never heard from again. Thanks for watching. Credits to listverse.com. Please subscribe my channel for more videos.